So this small town school incorporated a new rule. No hats ever. Not in class, not in the hallways, not even during lunch. Didn't matter the type. Snapback? No.
What?
Baseball cap? No.
Oh.
Bucket hat? Definitely no.
Hey.
The teachers said that this rule was about respect and uniformity. The principal kept saying stuff like, "This is an institution of learning, not a fashion show, folks." But one day, this kid comes in wearing a helmet. Like a full-on bike helmet strapped under his chin. You know, just sitting in class like it's completely normal. The teacher sees him. "Why are you wearing a helmet in my class? You know the rules, no hats." "Oh, it's not a hat. It's for safety." "Nice try. You need to take it off." "Actually, no, I don't. There's nothing in the handbook that says I can't wear protective headgear." She tries to argue with him, but he just smiles and says, "Look, you can ban hats, but this is personal protection. What if a ceiling tile falls? What if I trip and fall? Miss, I'm just being cautious." He wore it all day. He wore it to lunch. He wore it to gym. They called his parents. His parents said, "Hey, if he wants to wear a helmet, that's his right, okay? Better safe than sorry." So the school had no choice, because helmets are protective gear. They couldn't ban it, and all of a sudden, other students began joining in. By the end of the week, you had tons of kids wearing baseball helmets, lacrosse masks, skating helmets. It was iconic. However, they did eventually put this specific rule in the handbook. Students must not wear hats or helmets in school unless they have a doctor's note. That's kind of awesome. At this one house, Wi-Fi didn't belong to the kids. It belonged to her. Every single night at 9 p.m., this kid's mom would walk over to the router, unplug it, and announce, "The internet is closed. See you tomorrow." Didn't matter if you needed the internet for something. She would always unplug it at 9 p.m. Well, one night, this kid is sitting at his kitchen table. He's finishing a huge essay that's due at midnight. The clock says 8:59 p.m. He's typing. He doesn't really notice the time, but he's cooking. He's writing this freaking essay. He's ready to get an A on this thing. 1 minute passes. Boom, it's 9 p.m. Oh, what happened? "I'm sorry. You had all day to prepare for this. Too bad. This is a huge essay. I'm almost done. I need like just 10 more minutes, please." "I said you should have planned better, son. Too bad." This kid is absolutely livid. He tries to figure out a way to get Wi-Fi from his neighbor's house or to have someone drive him to like a Starbucks or something, but he couldn't figure it out. Well, midnight comes and goes and the essay was never uploaded. And he's worried because if he gets a 0 on this, his grade is going to severely suffer. Well, the next day at school, he tells his teacher what happened, and the teacher looks appalled. "Yo, your mom cut the Wi-Fi while you were doing your essay?" "Yeah." "Man, that sucks. Listen, I'll extend your deadline for tonight. You should be able to finish it after school." "Oh, totally, yeah. Thank you so much." "Yeah, don't worry about it, man. Your mom sounds like a piece of work." "Yeah, she is." And that night, he was able to finish it. What a good teacher. "Oh my gosh, we made our first $2. No, we actually made $1. We gotta pay the security guard. Here." In some neighborhoods, kids run lemonade stands. You know, cute little summer businesses, 50 cents a cup, smiles all around. Not on this block, though. On this block, you needed protection. Every Saturday in this one neighborhood cul-de-sac area, these kids would all set up their lemonade stands. Some were different. Some had like strawberry lemonade, others had regular lemonade, some was selling like fruit punch. You know, it was a nice little thing that the neighborhood kids were doing. Anyway, they'd be all set up and they're good to go. But then here comes this 8th grader. Bike gloves on, backpack over one shoulder. He pulls up to the first stand. Nice stand you got here. Good traffic spot, nice weather today. Would be a shame if someone knocked it over. The little girl selling lemonade just blinks. She's almost gonna cry. But then her friend says, just give him one of our dollars. "Hey, it's just a protection fee, okay? Covers you for the whole day. Accidents happen, you know. Have a good one." And he goes to the next one. "You guys paying for protection today?" You know, kids are scrambling. They're digging in their shoebox of change. Hands over $1. He nods. "Pleasure doing business with you." And just like that, he's off to the next lemonade stand. Kid made $12 in fees that Saturday alone. Now, this guy wouldn't just take the money and leave. And although he came off kind of tough and mean, he actually would stay there all day and watch over these lemonade stands. So I guess they actually were paying for protection. Now, it was a pretty nice neighborhood, so nothing ever actually happened. But, hey, you know, you gotta respect the hustle, I guess. "Can I go to the bathroom?" "You know the rules." This teacher had the worst bathroom policy ever. You weren't allowed to just ask. If you had to go, you had to stand up, walk to the front of the room, and explain why you deserved to go to the bathroom. Those were her words, deserved. She said it was about building confidence and reclaiming classroom trust. Mostly, she just didn't believe students were telling the truth. I've seen too many kids abuse the bathroom. If you really have to go, prove it. And so one day, this kid raises his hand. Usually, he avoids asking his teacher to use the bathroom because he just doesn't want to deal with all this. And during this class, he held it in as long as he could, but he really had to frickin' go. So he asks, Miss, can I go to the bathroom, please? You're gonna have to convince me. I'm not playing with you right now, miss. Can I please just go to the bathroom? I have to go so bad. You know the rules. Get up here and explain why you should go to the bathroom. Okay, fine. Can I do a visual demonstration? Whatever it takes. And yeah, by visual demonstration, that's exactly what he meant. This is your fault. He goes in his pants right then and right there. And the teacher, get this, she gets angry and sends him to the office. Go to the office now. He goes to the office and explains to the principal what had happened. And the principal did not take this lightly. Instead of seeing a kid disobeying a teacher's rule, he sees a teacher refusing to let students use the bathroom when they have to. After that day, in that class, if you had to use the bathroom, you were just allowed to go. And the principal gave that teacher her last warning. Yeah, she sounds horrible. I'm not here to teach. I'm here to keep order. Shut your mouth. There's this substitute, middle school, real power tripping type of guy. Clipboard in one hand, whistle around his neck, looking like he's coaching for the NBA. He walks into class, first thing he says, listen up, I'm not here to be your friend, I'm here to keep order. The whole class side-eyes each other, like, who does this guy think he is? 15 minutes in, he's handing out detentions like he's Oprah. You, detention for talking. You, detention for looking out the window, no daydreaming in this class. You, why are you breathing so funny? You making fun of me? Detention. Kid in the back, let's call him Devin, finally speaks up. Sir, you're here for 45 minutes. Chill. You better watch your tone, young man. Devin leans back in his chair, smiles, and says, bro, you're a spirit Halloween manager with a clipboard. Relax. Ooh, yo. The sub's just standing there frozen, clipboard shaking in his hand. Principal hears the chaos and he walks in. Sees the sub standing there red-faced. The sub then starts tearing up and runs out of the classroom. The principal had to finish the class. Okay, what'd you guys say to him? Wasn't even that bad, dude. Bro's just sensitive. Alright, fine. Just open your books. Let's finish the class. The sub never came back to that school. Absolute KO. Yo, what is that? Oh, that just happens sometimes. Don't worry about it. Okay. This kid's standing in the lunch line, bored, hungry, then he sees it. Something's moving by the nachos. It's tiny, it's hard to see, but something is definitely moving by the nachos. He squints and looks a little closer. Tiny legs, tiny wings, bugs everywhere. But it's just right at the cracks. Like he noticed it, but other people might not have. He pulls out his phone and zooms in. Oh, it's worse than he thought. The next station, the pizza station, same thing. He's zooming in the cracks and there's just bugs crawling around everywhere. He shows the lunch lady. Ma'am, we got a situation here. Oh, that's just the way it is sometimes. Excuse me? He's like, I bet. And he goes to the principal's office. Shows the principal. He looks at the pictures, and the principal's acting kind of suspicious now as well. Oh, thanks for letting me know. You can delete those pictures now. We're gonna take care of this. Kid's like, you sure, man? Yeah, it's handled. Appreciate it. Go back to class. Delete them. We're good. Kid nods and he walks out, but he did not delete those pictures at all. That night, he posts the pictures online and he tags the school and the health department. By 7 a.m. the next morning, parents are blowing up the school's phones, emails flying, screenshots posted everywhere. It's a mess. At lunch, the cafeteria is like chained off. The health inspector's there. Full-blown investigation. Shortly after that, the principal gets on the loudspeaker. Effective immediately, lunch service is suspended until further notice. And once the health inspector got an even closer look, school had to be shut down for 4 days. Kid's a legend. And to this day, they still call that the Great Cafeteria Shutdown. Water's a reward. You don't just get it because you're thirsty. This house is a desert. At this house, water wasn't a right. It was a privilege. Every day after school, this kid had the same rule. No exceptions. Drop your backpack, sit at the table, and do your homework. No TV, no snacks, no water. His mom would say it every day. Water is a reward, not a right. Well, one day he gets home, absolutely dying of thirst. He makes a quiet move towards the kitchen. He almost reaches the faucet. Don't even think about it. She's already standing there, arms crossed. Homework first. So he's at the kitchen table, math textbook open, mouth dry as sandpaper, watching the faucet drip, drip, drip. He finishes his homework, he gives it to her. Messy work. Do it again. Bro almost passed out right there. When he finally earned a glass of water, she handed it to him like a prize at a carnival. Here's your water. You did really good. The next day at school, he took extra water fountain breaks because he never knew how his mom would act when he got home from school. You canceled my birthday party? For a B+? Actions have consequences. So this one student got a B+ in math. Not too bad, right? Well, not according to his dad. The dad walks into the room holding the kid's report card. A B+? Are you kidding me? Dad, it's still above average. It's a really hard class. Well, it's not good enough. Give me your phone, now. Wait, what? No phone, and I'm canceling your birthday dinner. Yo, are you serious? Dead serious. The next morning, the dad emails the teacher, saying stuff like, why didn't you push my child harder? He's clearly capable of more. You're supposed to challenge him, not let him slack off. The teacher writes back, your son has the highest grade in class. He's the only one that got above a B. I'm actually very proud of him. His dad is crazy. The kid finds out about this email. He walks up to his dad and says, so can I have my phone back now and maybe my birthday? The dad just stares at him and walks away. Happy birthday to me, I guess. Does he, ever talk? Nah, not once. All year. So this new kid transfers to the school halfway through the year. Middle school. Kinda tall, quiet, doesn't talk to anybody. At first, people think, well, maybe he's just shy. But then weeks go by, and nothing. Not a word. No volunteering, no answering questions, not even a here during roll call. He does every assignment, he scores high on tests, but still, not a single word. No, it gets to the point where people just stop trying. He's the quiet kid, and that's it. Then one day, it's May. There's a sub in math class. She goes down the roll sheet, gets to his name, Evan. And for the first time all year, he goes, here. The whole room freezes. Did he just, yep, out of his, And that's when his cousin, who's been in the same class the entire time, pulls out a crumpled $50 bill out of his backpack and hands it to this kid. Turns out, back in January, they made a deal. Alright, so you're transferring to my school after the holidays. I bet you can't go the rest of the year without saying a word. Well, I bet you I can. They made a frickin' bet. If he had lost the bet, he would have had to eat a raw onion. $50 and his cousin buys him a meal from Cane's. Good deal to me. Hey, what's in your bag? Justice and 5 deviled eggs. So this one school had this thing where students could bring in their own snacks to eat during their mid-morning study session. It was kind of like a study hall, but everybody was in one area, I guess. Small town school stuff, you know. It was totally chill. As long as you weren't throwing food or making a mess, nobody cared at all. Well, one mom had a problem. A big one, apparently. Her kid came home one day and told her that somebody sitting next to her was eating tuna and crackers. And she told her mom that the smell made her lose my appetite. It was gross. Also, low-key, I freaking love tuna. I'm not gonna lie to you guys here. Okay, tuna and crackers, it slaps. Alright, if you don't like tuna, that's fine. But hating on tuna lovers? Okay, I'm done. So the mom emailed the teacher. Hi, I would like to request that no odorous or ugly snacks be permitted during the mid-morning study period. Ugly snacks? This is what she meant by ugly snacks. Tuna, hard-boiled eggs, anything pickled, sardines, olives, blue cheese, strong-smelling beef jerky. The list went on and on and on. She ended it with, let's keep the school a pleasant place for everybody. Perfect. The teacher forwarded that email to the principal. The principal ignored it at first, but the mom kept pushing. She started emailing other parents. She was asking them to talk to their kids about bringing less offensive snacks. Well, this got back to the students, and the students were done with this. They thought this mom was being crazy. That Friday, a group of 7th graders showed up with the smelliest, most ugly snacks that they could find. Sardines, canned oysters, garlic hummus. One kid brought a whole onion. They called it Stink Snack Friday. The teacher tried to shut it down, but they weren't breaking any rules. It's food. The next week, even more kids joined in. One kid found a local fruit dealer and brought in a durian. A durian! And those things frickin' stink! Eventually, the principal sent a message home to all the parents via email. While students are welcome to bring food from home, we are encouraging less aromatic options moving forward. We'll see. but the damage was done. The kids won, and Stink Snack Friday became a tradition. Where did he get all this stuff? I don't know, but it's beautiful. So sophomore year of high school, this one kid puts a bin outside the cafeteria. Taped to the side, it says, "Unofficial Lost and Found." Nobody thinks much of it, and people start using it. A water bottle here, a hoodie there, stuff just starts showing up in the bin. And every day, it's empty again. Clean, wiped out. No one knows where the stuff from the previous day went. And no one asked. At first, people think he's just bringing it to the office. Even the teachers were like, "Oh, that's so nice of him, he's helping out the school staff. Here, I found this shoe." But he never actually confirms what he's doing with the stuff. He even moves the bin around. Some days he's outside the library with it. Other days he's by the gym. Sometimes he's spotted walking the hallway alone, picking stuff up like he's actively looking for lost items. And this goes on for 2 years. So, senior year, the last day of school. You know, it's pretty relaxed. People were just wandering the schools. Easy day, you know, it's the last day. Well, there's a paper sign taped to the gym doors. The sign said, "The Hall of the Misplaced." People walk in, they're curious. What is this place? Oh my god. This kid turned the gym into a full-blown museum. Tables, spotlights, handwritten labels, all of the missing stuff displayed. He made sections. The wall of gloves, the charger graveyard. The fact that this dude's been pulling this off for 2 years is insane. At 3:45 that day, he packed up everything and left with the stuff. He didn't even give it back to the people that wanted it back. After he walked out, he was gone. And he didn't even show up to graduation. Honestly, that dude's a legend. So this girl's about to start high school, 9th grade. New school, new classes, and she just got her course selection sheet for the next year. She fills it out on her own. She just picks what she wants to take. You know, she doesn't want to overwhelm herself, which I totally get. It's her first year in a brand new school. It's high school, you know, and she's just trying to get through the transition without drowning in homework. Yeah, I would do the same. A few days later, her mom finds the form, and she loses it. Why did you pick all the easiest courses? What happened to preparing for college? Mom, I picked all the easy ones because I don't want to drown in work. It's high school, and I'm not even sure if I want to go to university yet. She didn't say she's dropping out. She didn't say that she's never going to learn again. She just said, "I'm 13, Mom, I just don't know." But that's not enough for her mom. Her mom is accusing her of slacking, saying she's just trying to avoid homework. Then she notices that she didn't sign up for music class, and she flips out again. Why didn't you sign up for music class? You are so good at music. Because if I take music, I have to join the band, and band practice is at 5 a.m., Mom. So? She's 13. She doesn't want honors classes and pre-sunrise saxophone rehearsals. The mom ended up forcing her to take the classes that she wanted her to take, which in my opinion is so messed up. And I just want to tell her, don't be confused when your daughter doesn't want to talk to you in 5 years. Is that popcorn I smell? Room 114. Bring $1. Garlic cheddar just dropped. So this kid's school had a rule where you couldn't sell anything during school hours or on school grounds. And he wanted to start a business like many people do because it's the frickin' hustle, baby. Well, one year he got some for Christmas. It was a mini popcorn machine. So one day he brought it into school. It wasn't the big carnival one, it was one of those mini ones that you could put on a countertop. Well, on this day, he left it in the back of this empty classroom, the one that nobody used anymore. And he had an extension cord running from the popcorn machine to an outlet. Nobody noticed. And then he made signs to pass out. Free popcorn. Suggested donation $1. Room 114. At lunch, he'd leave the door open just enough, so people could smell the popcorn as they were walking towards the room. He had everything. He had cups, he had flavors, cheddar, garlic, ranch, even sweet chili. And what was genius was that he wasn't technically selling anything, so he couldn't really get in trouble. It's just popcorn. I offer it and they donate. Business boomed. He had his friends standing around the hallway and going through the lunchroom telling them that room 14 has free popcorn. He even had Tabasco sauce packets to level it up. And if you guys never put hot sauce in your popcorn, you're severely missing out. It is a snack, I'm telling you. They started calling room 14 the Pop Shack. Now, teachers did start to notice this, mostly because of the smell. Eventually, the principal tracked it down and headed to room 114. What is this? Free popcorn. Suggested donation $1. You want some? The vice principal paused. He looked around. There was even a tip jar. He was impressed. Honestly, smells pretty good. Yeah, I'll take a cup of this sweet chili. Then you guys can just carry on. Here's a $5. That was that. They let him keep doing what he was doing. The only rules were this: no smoke, no fire, and no mess. And they had to have a teacher nearby to check in every so often, which they all agreed to. That was very reasonable. And by the end of the year, this kid had earned over $600 in donations. That is legendary behavior. Did they ever find out who did it? Nope. and it drove him insane. So there's this one principal, old school, super strict. Hates nonsense, hates funny business, he's got zero chill. Well, one day he walks into his office and there's a single crouton sitting on his desk. Dead center. No note, no explanation, just sitting there. He doesn't think too much of it, so he tosses it in the garbage. The next day, another one. Same spot, still no message. Day after that, again. He starts asking around. All right, who's messing with me? Huh? Who's the crouton person? Huh? No one knows. So he checks the cameras, but there's no camera inside his office, just the hallway outside of the door. In that hallway, there's tons of kids coming in and out of the office all day. Teachers, office aides, too many faces, there's no way to tell who left it in there. So he tries to stop it. He begins locking the door when he's not there. He still gets a crouton. He moves his desk, still gets a crouton. He leaves a sticky note. Whoever this is, please stop. The next day, a new crouton, sitting on a napkin that says, respectfully. This goes on for months and he never figures it out. Never gets an answer and never catches this crouton person. And then one day, it just stops. Nothing. The desk stays empty. No note, no crumb, no crouton. He retires the next year, but the day he left that job, he put a framed photo on the wall of the crouton sitting on a napkin, and below it, it said, unsolved. That picture is still hanging in that office to this day. So this dad notices that his daughter, 16 years old, had been acting really different lately. She's turned into a straight up mean girl, mocking people's outfits, judging what people are bringing for lunch, making comments like, that person's disgusting. She smells like cafeteria food and cheap shampoo. Just some real mean stuff, you know? And it's not just at school either. It's also at home. She has been harassing their housemaid. So I guess these people have money because they have a housemaid, but still, she's been harassing the housemaid. Every time the housemaid walks by, she says something like, you're disgusting. Do you like smelling like bleach? Oh my God, you're so filthy. Like, what? This maid has been in tears more than once because of the mean stuff this girl says. Like, she's just trying to do her job. She's a sweet lady. Well, one day she told the dad that his daughter called her filthy and all these other horrible things just because she was cleaning under the fridge. So he finally sits down his daughter and he says this, hey, listen, if I hear one more thing like that, you're not going to the party this weekend, and I mean it. Because yeah, there's a huge party coming up. It's a big one, everybody's going, and this girl's been talking about it nonstop for weeks. You wouldn't do that to me. You wanna bet? 2 days before the party, the dad catches his daughter straight up grilling the maid. No, I told you to clean my room first, okay? You are absolutely disgusting, filthy woman, all right? That's it. You're not going. He caught her, and she snaps. Starts screaming, crying, kicking around. This girl's 16 years old and she's acting like a complete child. But he holds the line. No party. Fast forward a few days. She walks into the room her dad's in, all sweet, and she goes, hey dad, I can't find my phone. He helps her look, nothing. Can't find it. So he calls the number, and they hear it ringing from the maid's purse. Oh my God, she stole it. I knew it. I knew she was shady, Dad. At this point, the maid is literally shaking. She says she has no idea how it got in there. She starts crying. The dad's trying to stay calm, and inside he's like, there's no freaking way. Well, what his daughter didn't know was that the dad recently installed some indoor cameras in the house, and he checked the cameras, and there she was. He caught his daughter red-handed, putting her phone in the maid's purse on purpose, just to make her look like a thief, just because she couldn't go to a party. He brings her in his office. He shows her the footage. She goes pale. And this is how he handled it. You try to ruin someone's life over a party. You're grounded, and tonight, you're sleeping in the backyard. No, Dad, no, I'm a germaphobe. There's bugs and dirt out there. Please, no. No, exactly. You're so obsessed with calling people filthy. Maybe it's time you actually find out what that feels like. She begs and begs, but he just stares and says this. If you push it anymore, it'll be 2 nights. And if you think I'm kidding, you got another thing coming to us. Yeah, I mean, she sucks. Shut it down. We can't. There's a wait list. At this one high school, there was this one kid that never talked, like ever. Nobody even really knew his name. But one Monday, he walked into the cafeteria with a massive backpack. Everyone was very curious, like, what the heck is in there, man? He sat down and he pulled out a full-size blender, a jug of orange juice, and some frozen fruit. He plugged it into an outlet and... everyone was staring. This kid's making a frickin' smoothie? And lunch? He poured that smoothie into a cup and handed it to the kid next to him. For me? Okay. Yo, that's good. Just handed the kid a smoothie without saying anything. The next day he did the same thing. Brought the blender in, made smoothies, but this time he handed 3 cups out to people. And again, every student loved them. Day after that, 5 cups. It's like he was testing the clientele to see what they like. Well, by Friday, he had a handwritten sign that he put in front of this lunch table. Smoothies, $2. Mango, pineapple, or strawberry banana. And the wild part? He was good. Frozen fruit was packed in dry ice. Straws were pre-torn so we could just pop them in there. And he had a punch card system. Buy 5, get 1 free. At first, the teachers didn't really notice. He was blending during the loud parts of lunch. He even had a kid from drama club doing the marketing. Attention everybody, everybody. There are smoothies at table 20. Go get yours now. This all started crumbling down when kids stopped waiting in line for lunch. And they began waiting in line for these dang smoothies. What in the world is going on over there? Some kid's got a blender and he's making smoothies and people are paying for him, man. I don't know. Well, shut it down. I can't, man. There's a wait list. Mrs. Johnson's in line. I'm so excited for my smoothie. Principal didn't care. He came over and took the blender, unplugged it. He was shut down. But was he? That kid missed school the next day. But then he came back with a battery-powered blender. He didn't need to plug it in anymore. During lunch that day, the principal and the school police liaison came and got him. They brought him to the office and everybody thought he was done for. But then the next day, he came back with a new and improved sign. Smoothies, $2. Mango, pineapple, or a strawberry banana. Now approved by school. Turns out him and the principal made a deal. Okay, fine, you can sell them at lunch, but you have to also sell them at every single school event this year and we take a 5% cut. The money you make during lunch, that's yours though. Deal? By the end of the year, that kid earned enough money to buy a used car. He was the silent smoothie slinger. You gotta respect the hustle. Dude, don't shoot it from there. If it sticks, I'm a legend. It started with one kid. He was bored during history class, and he sat in the last row of the room. So because he was bored, he pulled a rubber band from his backpack, and he shot it at the wall behind him. Thwap! It stuck to the wall. No one noticed. The next day, he did it again. Nice! Thwap! 2 rubber bands stuck to the wall, and then it became this thing. It was like an unspoken challenge for the kids that sat in the back of the room. The challenge would be to see if your rubber band can stick to the wall. And kids did whatever it took. They dipped these rubber bands in spit, juice, soda, anything that made them tacky enough to hold. It was disgusting, but it worked. And over time, the wall started to change. There were layers. Bands stuck on top of other bands. It looked like some weird, stretchy art project. And the teacher, he never turned around. He was one of those teachers that stood in the front of the class the whole time and he lectured from the board. He never noticed a thing. But then one day, they got a sub, and the sub noticed immediately. She walks in, she sees the wall, and she freezes. And all the students are waiting for her to be grossed out or to snitch to the principal or something. But instead, she walks over, pulls out a pen, and leaves a note on the wall. When she walked away, the kids checked the note. All the note said was respect. That's awesome. I'll give her a clean 7. Could have been worse. 7. Generous. Every time this class got a sub, there was this one kid who would quietly take out a piece of paper, title it Sub Scoreboard, and start grading the sub as the class went on. No one said anything, no one gave it away, it was just this perfect silent agreement that this class always did. He kept the scoreboard hidden in between his notebook like it was official, and the stuff he graded? Petty, specific, unnecessary stuff. -1 for mispronouncing names, -2 for saying, I don't know, I'm just the sub. +3 if they actually followed the lesson, -1 if the class got too loud, and bonus points if they brought in snacks. He'd make a mark, nod to himself, and keep going. Just stay in your assigned seats, okay? I don't know, I'm just a sub. Then at the end of the class, right before the bell, he would walk up, fold the paper once, and hand it to the sub. Final score, 7 out of 10. Not bad. Some subs laughed, some were not amused at all. And one time, this sub read the paper, looks at the kid and says, "You think you're funny? Let's see if the principal thinks this is funny." The kid just blinks, grabs the paper back, and adds 1 more score. -5, no sense of humor. He folds it again, hands it back, and he walks away. That kid is hilarious. Yo, dude, Jeff got office detention. What? He is so cooked. There was this one school where regular detention happened in room 117. Boring. You sit, you do your homework, you write an essay, standard stuff. But there was another kind of detention that nobody ever wanted to go to. They called it office detention. Only certain kids ever got it. No warning, no explanation. Just a slip handed to them that said, report to the principal's office, 3 o'clock. God, no! Once they walked in, the door shut behind them. There were no windows in this office, which made it 10 times worse. No phones allowed. You weren't allowed to do your homework. You weren't allowed to do anything. What you did have to do in office detention was this. Just sit there, across from the principal, in total silence, staring at each other. Have a seat. Okay, on that. This is office detention. Look at me. Once they were settled, no one would say a word. Nobody would move. It would just be complete silence for an entire hour. And if you broke the silence, the hour would start over. Nobody knew what the point was. There was no lesson, there was no scolding. Just slow, silent, psychological punishment, which in my opinion is horribly messed up. But I guess the weirdest part is it worked. The kids that went there never got it again. That's just insane. Yo, is anybody home? Oh look, cookies. So when this kid was in school, his parents worked late. So after school, he had to walk home an hour and a half every time his parents worked late. He hated riding the bus, so he said he'd rather walk. So because of this, he would always try to hang out at a friend's house who lived nearby and just get picked up from there later in the night when his parents were off. Well, one day he's walking by that friend's house and he decides to give him a call. No answer, but he remembers where they keep the spare key. For some reason, he can't explain why. He grabs the key and he lets himself in, starts walking around the house, calling out for his friend. Yo, you home? Hello? Silence. Nobody's there. So he goes to the fridge, makes himself a sandwich, sits down on the couch, and starts watching TV. About 15 minutes in, he realizes, oh my god, I just broke into my friend's house. What am I doing? And it's not just anybody's house. His friend is Russian, and his dad is a scary Russian man who had tons of firearms. He panics, he puts the key back, and he runs out of the house. He gets home safely. His friend calls him back later that day, and he didn't suspect a thing. And he has kept that secret every single day since then. That's crazy. This teacher was mean for no reason. She snatched phones, she gave out detentions like it was candy, and she always blamed the wrong people. So this one kid noticed something. Him and the teacher had the same exact water bottle. Same color, same brand, same size. So one night, he filled his water bottle with pickle juice and spicy pickles. He screwed the lid on tight, and he labeled the lid, "Do not touch, pickle juice inside." The next day, he walked into that teacher's class early and casually left the water bottle on her desk. Didn't say a word, just sat down and he waited. Halfway through the lesson, she picked it up without even looking, took a big sip, and instantly froze. What is this? It worked. The kid said this, wait, I think that's mine. She took a closer look at the water bottle and read the lid. Do not touch, pickle juice inside. Why was this on my desk? I guess I forgot where I left it. I'm sorry. Principal's office now. He goes to the principal's office. So why are you messing with Mrs. Johnson? I didn't. Well, then how did she randomly drink pickle juice? We have the exact same water bottle. I even have the receipt. I bought it last month. Okay, but why was there pickle juice in there? Because I made pickles and I want to eat them at lunch. Okay, but you couldn't have put your name on the water bottle or something? I did. I even put on the lid, do not drink pickle juice inside. So it's not my fault she doesn't pay attention to... Hey, language. I'm sorry. Am I in trouble? I mean, technically, no, you're not, so get out of here. And that's basically how it went. He didn't get in trouble because technically he didn't do anything wrong. Honestly, that's a legendary prank.
আপনি যে কি করেন তাতে কোনো কনসেন্স নেই আমার বাসায় একটু সবাই দেখো তো
রাত 10টায় আমি ফোন দিব আর একবারের বেশি যদি রিং হয় মামা মালটা তো জোস সরি ভাবি তুই যা তুই পারবি তুই দেখ কিভাবে কই সেটিং নাই তো সেটিং মানে বুঝো না পেন্টিরিতি ও তো আমাদের ভাবি হয় ওই হিসাবে আমাদের বিয়ে হিসাব আপনি
আচ্ছা দাঁড়া ওয়েট কর আমাকে একটু ভাবতে দে দেখি কি করা যায় দোস্ত তুই থাক আমি যাই আমি থাকবো মানে তুই থাক দোস্ত
রক্ত লাগবে রে রক্ত আসবো না মানে হ্যাঁ তাই তো শুনলাম আসবো না ঠিক আছে দেখতেছি ব্যাপারটা যাও
কি রে তুই কোচিং এ যাস না কেন
দোস্ত আমি কোচিং এ কিভাবে যাব বল এই গুন্ডাটা যে আমাকে ডিস্টার্ব করে তুই দেখতেই তো পারছস ডেইলি আমার পিছনে লাগে থাকে
আমার ভালোবাসার গল্পটা অপূর্ণ রয়ে গেল গলবে পাখির মন গলবে এমন মন্ত্র দেব
এভাবে রাস্তাঘাটে একটা মেয়েকে উত্তক্ত করে আর নিজের গায়ে রক্ত দিয়ে
হ্যালো,
হেই হোয়াটস আপ প্র্যাঙ্ক ম্যান।
কে?
একটু হলেই তো তোমার ফোন হাওয়া হয়ে যেত।
তুই তোর ফোন আর কোনোদিন পাবি না।
কেন?
তোর বাবা তো তোর ফোনটাকে একদম আসার দিয়ে ভেঙে শেষ, এমনকি পানিতে চুবাইছে।
আউট অফ কিউরিয়াসিটি হয়তো দেখা করব, বাট আই এম নট দ্যাট মাচ ইজি, অলওয়েজ রিমেম্বার।
আজকে যদি তারা না থাকতো আজকে তোর দিতাম একদম। এই খালি স্কার্টেন গার্ডেন।
এই যে আপু, এসব গার্ডেন ফার্ডেন যায় না, আমার ভাই ব্রাদাররা আছে, আপনার একদম কামড়ায় দিবে। না 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 ব্রো, এই যে আপনার ফোন প্র্যাঙ্ক ছিল ব্রো, চিল চিল চিল। রাকিব ভাই, আপনি এসআই রাকিব ভাই না? আপনার কথা আমি অনেক শুনছি। আপনি কিন্তু মানে বুঝের লোক। টেজে তোলেন।
এই হোসেন আলী ক্যামেরা আগেই কইছিলাম আমার বস ফেমাস। হ্যাঁ 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 ভাই একটু যদি ধরতে।
হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ শিওর।
তো কিভাবে যে কনফার্ম হয়?
এটা তো এদিকে না, 3 নাম্বার গেট ওইদিকে, শঙ্কর গলি বোধহয় গেটের বাইরে। আপনি ভুল আসছেন, জান।
ভুল আসছে, কিন্তু আমি কি চিনতে পারবো?
ও আচ্ছা, আপনি দ্যাট বোরখা গার্ল।
চিনতে পেরেছো তাহলে না?
আই লাইক গুড গার্লস। ফলো করতে ফলো কর, যা। ইফে কই যায় দেখবি, যা। সারা জীবনে প্রথম কাউরে প্র্যাঙ্ক করতে যায়, নিজেই আজকে প্র্যাঙ্ক হয়ে গেল।
মুনিয়া, তুমি আমাকে বলেছো যে তুমি তোমার কোনো বয়ফ্রেন্ড নাই।
না না, বয়ফ্রেন্ড না, আমি ওনার বয়ফ্রেন্ড, আমি ওর ফিয়ান্সে। ওর সাথে আমার বিয়ে নেক্সট।
ও আচ্ছা আচ্ছা।
আমার জন্য?
এটা তোমার জন্য। একটা নতুন ফোন দিলাম।
এই জন্য তাহলে তোমরা এতক্ষণ নাটক করছো?
নাটক না, তোমার ফোনটা পুরনো হয়ে গেছে।
কেন
নতুন ফোন।
আমরা প্র্যাঙ্ক করতে পারি না?
একটা ইম্পর্টেন্ট কথা ছিল তোমার সাথে। এমন করলে কেমন হয় যদি এই এন্টারটেইনমেন্ট জার্নিতে আমি জয়েন করি তোমার সাথে?
আরে বেঞ্চ সাহেব, নতুন নতুন সম্বন্ধ তো তাই চিনতে পারেন নাই। ওই যে আপনার বান্ধবী তুলি আছে না?
আপনি যে কি করে আপনার কোনো কমন সেন্স নেই, আমার বাসায় যদি সবাই দেখে ফেলে।
রাত 10টায় আমি ফোন দিব, আর একবারের বেশি যদি রিং হয়। মামা, মালটা তো জোস। সরি 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 ভাবি, তুই পারবি। দেখ কিভাবে কই। সেটিং মেটিং নাই তো? সেটিং মানে বুঝো না, পেন্টেরিতি।
সবে ইন্টার সেকেন্ড ইয়ারে পড়ি।
সেকেন্ড ইয়ারে আমার ক্লাস 9 এর পোলাবেনও প্রেম করে। মামা, মায়া তো অস্থির। এক্সকিউজ মি আপু, এক্সকিউজ মি, আপনার নামটা যদি বলতেন একটু। শুনেন বেঞ্চ সাহেব, আমার বন্ধু জিসান, ঠিক আছে? আপনার বান্ধবীরে শুনুন। মারি নাই তো, শাসন করছি। ভালো লাগে না, একটু মারতেই পারি, কিন্তু খুব খারাপ লাগে। তুই রবিলের সুন্দর একটা রিক্সা ডাক। ভাবি টিভিতে আমার বন্ধু জিসান দেখতে, প্লিজ ভাবি আপনি একটু নেন প্লিজ ভাবি। আপনি দেখেন ভাবি, কালকে সারা রাত তোমার আমি কল দিচ্ছি।
তাহলে আপনি শুনুন আপনার ভালোবাসার মানুষের অতীত বর্তমান। পাগল কোন একদম ঠিক হয়নি, ওনার ব্যথা লাগে নাই।
ব্যথা তো পেয়েছে তুমি।
তুহিনের ব্যথা লাগছে মানে?
বন্ধু তুই চিন্তা করিস না রে, ভাবির মন ঠিকই গলে যাবে। ভাবির মন তো গলবে, কিন্তু